Or our vice presidential candidate at this stage. I'm sure some of you have seen the face already, but a lot of things happen close to the nomination process, which we're still waiting for on the results, and so um, things got a bit mixed up. But we're excited, very very excited to be doing that this week before this weekend. We will be announcing or formally outdooring our vice presidential candidate for our bid for 2020 December. So do well to be here. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know whether it's a Wednesday or Thursday, but it's going to be one of those days. It was some fantastic story, fantastic conversation to be had on the day. So if you can, do make it a point to join us then, so you can also get to know Dr. Baku for yourself. Um, yeah, excellent. Brilliant man, brilliant person, brilliant personality, and then um, yeah. Just join us for yourself so you can have a feel of it for yourself. But anyway, hey, Dr. Damelda, how are you in Europe? Welcome, sir. I salute you. Good evening. So today, as we did last week, I want to encourage a number of us who have already um, been supporting this agenda. I want to say a big thank you to you all. But I want to encourage even many more who are torn between, we don't want to vote for any of the status quo two, the two that have been handling this country for the last 28 years, but we don't know who to vote for. I am presenting myself to you as a choice. We have done a lot to prove to you that we are indeed the third choice that you have. As a matter of fact, the only choice this December. And so I am in Daniel, Mr. Opong, welcome. Daniel Opong, welcome. I am appealing to you who can, you who are able, you who are capable, you who understand that we cannot vote in the same manner this December as we have done in the last 28 years. So please, please, please join us. Join us because this is what it would take. When one person does it, he is considered as crazy. When two people come together, three people add to the process. Sandman Harris, I salute you, sir. It becomes a drive. So I'm asking every single one of you who believes in what we're doing, use your influence, get others on board, join us. We're looking for more volunteers to start our door-to-door engagements. We're looking for more volunteers to do everything you can, really. Some people have been kind enough to be the ones to say, you know what, I'm going to print a t-shirt, but I'm not going to print it for just me alone. I'm going to print 3 more so I can share with 2 other people who don't have the t-shirts. Please, we try to make our campaign a lot more people-centered. So we have all the materials you need, the t-shirt designs, the poster designs. Everything is online on Google. Please get on there. We're going to post the links on the comment section. Please get on there, print as many as you can, distribute in your community, print the t-shirts that you can, share it with friends, and we're setting a date. Let's all go out there and evangelize and get people to help them change their minds and say to them, you know what, indeed there is a third choice to all of this. You don't have to be forced this December to vote for the best of 2 evils. That it shouldn't happen this year. It should not happen this year. So wherever you are, in whatever capacity you are in and you want to support, please join the campaign. and let's make this happen together. It's not going to happen by me alone, guys. It's going to be you and us. It's going to be everybody on board. Mr. Ampofo, welcome. Welcome. Kester, welcome as well. And Charles Anneman, thank you for posting the links. Those are the links to the T-shirts. Those are links to the manifesto. Those are links to our posters. You know, those of you who can support us. Kojo, I see. Welcome. Good evening, sir. Those of us who can. Some people are already doing these things. You know, people are already doing these things. There are people who have printed, who have just gone out of their way, printed T-shirts, printed posters, and started their own door-to-door community campaign. And I encourage every single one of us to do this. This is not my fight. This is our fight. This is our campaign. This is our agenda. And so let it not seem like this is one guy trying to make this happen. There are many, many people engaged on this agenda, and you should be part of it too. We need every corner to be covered. We need every area to be reached. And so if you're out there and you can, whatever it's in your power to do, in whatever capacity you can join us, do that. All right. So please, especially if you're in Accra this next few weeks, please join us. If you're in all the other regions, let us know so we know who to put you in touch with. But join us and do something. You know, some of you cannot get on the street and do the whole street evangelism and convince people that they need to look up to us for as a third choice this December. You can support us with your financing, do that. You can support us with vehicles, do that. You can support us with printing, do that. If you can support us with providing the T-shirts, do that. Whatever you can do. Whatever you can do, let it be said that, you know, you played your part, you played your role. You know, you acted when it was most necessary and when it was most needed. You did your part. Okay, that's what it's gonna take. We're all involved in this, and so that's my quick appeal. I'm gonna be here for just about an hour, so if you have questions for me, I try to make myself available here. At least once every week, more than once usually. But if you have questions to ask of me, go ahead. Mary Hayford, been a while. Thank you for joining us. Abdul Bukhari, thank you for joining us as well. I really appreciate you all. I really, really do appreciate you all. Madam Nanama, thank you for joining us. So thank you everybody for who is already a part of this. But yeah, if you have some questions, I will be happy to answer them. Those I can, I will. Those I cannot, I will be honest to God and tell you I cannot answer those questions. And so fire away if you can or if you care. But if not, I will just continue engaging. Some of you have wondered what's going on now. We're going ahead with our campaign. We've been waiting for the EC the last week to announce, you know, the outcomes of the nomination and the filing process. That hasn't happened. We're not going to, take the back fiddle on all of this. You know, the two main political parties are out campaigning. We are going out to campaign too. So join us and let's make this happen. This week we've got a number of things that have come up, largely along Canada Japan's issues with the court. Those are not essential things I want to talk about with the people of Ghana. I think the law has the law is required to deal with everybody as it best requires. Madam Victoria, it's been a while. Thank you for joining us, and good evening. Good evening. So, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot. And where I can't answer, I will. Tonight, I beg, don't ask me heavy questions. Tonight, we're all cooling off. No, I'm just kidding. Just go away, answer the questions you need to ask. Um, and I will, as best as possible, try and answer those that I can. But I'm looking forward to December. I'm looking forward to elections. I think this year is going to be one of the most exciting election cycles. I maintain that the elections may not go in the normal, unusual way it should go. I'm sure there will be a lot of upsets here and there. Um, it's left to all of us to see how that happens. I am very confident of Ghanaians. I believe in Ghanaians. I know you cannot take Ghanaians for granted. I know Ghanaians feel what they feel. He who feels it knows it. I know Ghanaians feel what they feel. I know they will make their voices heard at the polls in December 2020. Yes, traditionally people say, oh, it's always been between the NDC and the NPP. But traditionally also, when Ghanaians feel that the heat is intensely on the individual and personal economies, they act accordingly. And I have no doubt that this year Ghanaians will make their voices very well heard and very well seen. And so, somebody is trying to. Let me see if I can get the question right. Okay. Oh, by the way, I actually have the chance to add people into my video. So, if you do want to be in my video in this conversation, you can just make the request and I will add you. I don't know how the request is done, but if you do want to, you can make that request and I will gladly add you to the process. Let's see who I should choose randomly and add. Let me put somebody on the spot. Let me put somebody on the spot. I want to put somebody on the spot. I'm not sure who, but now everybody's gonna run away. But let me see if I can put somebody on the spot and see who I can bring into the conversation today. Everybody's gonna be running off. Who should know? I'll let people choose if they want to be in this video, so I don't put anybody on the spot. But if you do want to be in the video, just show me a wave of hand. I will add you to the video, and we can have a very candid conversation here for our audience going forward. It's the beauty of technology, huh? It's the beauty of technology. When Facebook started, it was very basic. It was just the photos, it was just the commentary. Now a lot has been added, and that's progressive. I tell you something interesting we want to do for technology in this country is that we intending to build what we're calling, you know how you have tax havens? We're intending to build something we're framing as a tech haven, where we build a melting pot. It's going to be a town by itself, a melting pot, where everything that happens in there for the next 20 years is going to be tax-free. It's an opportunity for us as a country to bring in the best of technological organizations in their teething and birthing stages from different angles or areas of the world, including Ghana itself. Pull together a melting pot where these frontier tech companies or frontier technologies can melt together and evolve into something amazingly big, both for Ghana, both for Africa, both for the world. But we want it to happen right here, and we have what it takes to make that happen. It will do a lot. It will put us on the technology map, which is crucial, because I kid you not, in the next few years, the geography of our various countries will not be determined by where we are on the map. It will likely be determined by, the level of our technological capabilities. And we do need to position ourselves into that future. It will help with our education because, the technology or the industry to be able to get our young people to plug in right from school will be right here. And it will open new doors for new economies, new commerce, new operations, new frontiers even. And so these are things that we are looking to do to sort of create a whole new technological economy around here in Ghana. It will count for a lot of things. It will drive a lot of things. And we're looking forward to that bright future for all of us as a people. So, that's just something little I wanted to share about what we have in store for technology. We have some really serious technology people supporting this agenda, and their ideas and expectations in terms of moving us forward, no doubt, are very groundbreaking. And we believe that it will really position us on the African and the world map. Right, okay, so there are no questions. This is going to be very easy today. Amasifa, how are you? You just started your national service. Congratulations. I wonder what experience has been. I hope it has been good. When I did my national service, I was a sixth form student. So back in the days, you do one national service after sixth form, you do one after your degree. And when I did my national service after sixth form, what happened was that I got taken to Nkwanta Secondary School, myself and a young man called Ray. I had studied physics, chemistry, maths. Ray had also done the same. We got taken out there and we got thrown into the middle of it all. I was made the head of physics department, head of chemistry department. Young guy, just came out of my system, didn't know anything about heading a chemistry department. Ray got thrown in as the head of physics department. Could you believe that? We had no prior experience of teaching. We had no coaching about how to teach. Nothing. We're just thrown out there. And here were all these SHS students we were supposed to teach. And I remember at the time in Kwanta Secondary School, they had a very freshly built laboratory. And believe it or not, these students had not even done one experiment in the lab before. Even the most basic experiment, litmus paper turning from red to blue, blue to red. They had never seen that before. They have never done titration before. They had never done, anything, distillation, anything to experience osmosis, whatever. They had never done anything before, And I remember going there, and I was thinking to myself, my goodness. Is that how it feels like to be outside of Accra? And that was my first experience outside of Accra. And the other thing that dawned on me was that none of us were trained to do what we're doing. Yes, it was service we were given, but there was no coaching, there was no orientation in terms of how do you teach? You're a young man from sixth form. How do you teach? How do you deliver knowledge in the manner that it is required to be delivered, so that the other person, student on the other hand, can actually get something out of that process? What teachers will call the pedagogy, the method of teaching. We had none of that, and so we got thrown into all of that, and we had to do our best. And these were students who had about 6 months to go and write their final exam. I remember in SHS, and I looked at the syllabus, looked at the level of practicals they had to cover that they hadn't covered, and you can imagine my frustration. We did our best. But it's never enough when you're not properly oriented to do these things. Ebenezer, nice talk. Thank you. This is Gigi. This is Gigi where this is Gigi that we all need to be promoting for Ghana. I'm not officially promoting this, but everything Ghanaian is something we should promote. I like this. These are real funky. I'm not that old, guys. This is real funky, and I think we should all be promoting some of these things. We should have a situation where if you're a tourist and you come to Ghana and you don't wear a Gigi, you must feel that you've never been to Ghana. You must feel that you've not been to Ghana if you come to Ghana and you don't buy a Gigi, you don't buy a Batakari, you don't buy something that is truly Ghanaian. I can only think of the Batakari and the Gigi for now. The Akaba. If you don't buy a Kaba, I don't know where women still wear Kaba these days. But if you come to Ghana and you don't buy a Kaba, you should feel like you've never had a holiday in Ghana. But anyway, hey Ben, you had a question. I hope your government will actually make business conducive for local entrepreneurs. The tax regimes and assistance is currently stifling at best. We cannot leave everything to foreign direct investment and foreign global conglomerates. I totally agree with you, Aben. And I have often said that most of our governments do not have a very thorough understanding of entrepreneurs because, it's tax incentives to entrepreneurs at the early stages of the entrepreneurship is no incentive. If you've been an entrepreneur before, you will know this. You don't give entrepreneurs a tax incentive at the beginning of the entrepreneurship. That's not what they need. Because you see, you've got to go through the process of actually being successful with your entrepreneurial business. Go through the process of actually making some profit, substantive profit or reasonable profit, before we can even talk about you being taxed. Or you benefiting from tax incentives. What entrepreneurs need is the front-loading support. The support they need at the very early stages to be able to even enter the market. The support they need to be able to break into the market. The support they need to be able to sustain themselves in those early stages when they need to get into the market. That's the kind of support that entrepreneurs need. And it's not just loans. And let me stress that it's not just loans. Because you see, let me give you an example. I know very young entrepreneurs who want to get into a business, who require, for example, the standards board and all those standard setting authorities to be able to support them. And nobody is saying they shouldn't be given the support. But if you are charging them the same manner you charge a company that has 500 or 5,000 employees, you are already telling them you are not welcome to get into the market you're seeking to get into. And so it is these early stages of support that they need us to bring some things down, some of these rates down, make the process of registration a lot more faster and easier for them, get their rates a lot more easier, so they can get and start doing business. That's what entrepreneurs need at the early stages. Low-rated financing or even guarantee process for loans, so that business loan givers can be a bit more encouraged to give support to entrepreneurs. If we don't do these things, we cannot expect that they will be making profit and then in the end start to tax them. An entrepreneur will prefer that you tax them in the stages when they actually start making some money, not in the stages where they are struggling to actually get into the market. And I think one of the other things that we need to support with entrepreneurs is, and one of the biggest key things I think we haven't helped entrepreneurs is that one of the things I want to see is that we want to have bureaus across this country that would offer support, for example, in training for entrepreneurs. And it could be basic things like how to price their products. It could be basic things like how to stand before investors and make a reasonable pitch. A lot of entrepreneurs have hit a steel ceiling or a metal ceiling because they've brought their business to a point. One, they don't have immediate access to venture capital But even if they were to get one today, they do not know how to stand in front of them and make a pitch, even if it saves their lives. And these things can be taught. And it doesn't cost us anything as a country to teach these things to entrepreneurs, to help them to get to that level where they can indeed go out there, make the pitches they need to make, and gain the financing they need to get to be able to do something tangible with their businesses. And then, of course, you talk about our embassies that are supposed to be trade hubs. They are not. Largely, at best, they just issue passports. And that's not good enough. It's not good enough because the whole idea of having embassies in different countries, Eben, is to ensure that they are able to coordinate trade, make trade coordination or make trade contacts for Ghanaian businesses here. Ghanaian businesses don't have to go to a certain country before they start trying to make their own connections or try to make their own business contacts. There has to be a trade desk. Those trade desks have to be focused on gaining contact for Ghanaian business people and connecting those foreign business players to Ghanaian business people. That's the whole essence of our embassies. They originated as being trade embassies, not visa issuing and passport stamping agencies. So some of these things we need to get right. I kid you not. We need to get some of these things right. That's the world we're living, and we need to take a cue and act accordingly. We're joking with our embassies. We're joking. Every embassy has a different website, and yet they are all performing the same services. They are all getting their visas from one central point. They all have different websites. We're laughable. Okay, I'm not gonna go there today. Tubafia Vida, your name, apart from Kofi, the rest doesn't sound Ghanaian. Which part of the country do you come? I come from the Volta region, Madam Tubafia. So let me give you an example. Vida is a Christian name. Vida in your name is not a Ghanaian name. Vida is not a Ghanaian name. It's an English name. Marek is also an English name that has a very long, old history, Australian-related history. And so Vida, just as Vida is not a Ghanaian name, it's a Christian name, what we would call a Christian name. Marek is also a Christian name. Marek simply means the kingsman, the people's kingsman, the kingsman to the people, or the people's brother. Pretty much that's what it means. Ghani is actually has Ghanaian roots. So if you find people from Puerto Chito, Avejolo, Have area, ask them. There are Gans in this country. People pronounce it differently, Gani, Gan, and all that. I pronounce mine Gan because that sounds good to me. So that's a very Ghanaian name. Sorry if that's a disappointment, but it is a very Ghanaian name. And there are other people who bear the name Gan. We're just very few. It's a precious name, by the way. Ebenezer. Oh, I know Veso. I know Ves. But you know, we have to say, well, we are laughable. Charles says, Massa, you be like mental dynamite. I know ball. But you see, the thing we say, you see, for so long, we dey get plenty things wrong. And unfortunately, nobody go get up talk. Then it do it. Then we all day back. Then we dey do like, you know, everything be cool. No, nothing be cool. Because as the thing no be cool for the front, then it affect we where we did the thing in back they come. Born and in it. Well, sometimes we have to say these things. We have to be honest with ourselves. We have to say, call a spade and not an agricultural spoon. You know, if the embassies know they work the way they for work, we for talk say they know they work the way they for work. Look, they say make we don't talk Rwanda. Make anybody go visit the Kenya embassy for London. If you there London, just go past where it is of the Piccadilly area there. I don't know whether they move. If they don't move, then they go still there around it. The Piccadilly area and back there. The um, the Chartered Association of Architects, them are building. They did that yard there for London. Make anybody go check. Anybody there London will be gonna make you go check. The Kenyan embassy. The Kenyan embassy does not have two buildings in London. They have one building in London. And they are exceptionally efficient. They are not even as big as Ghana embassy. But they are very, very efficient. We alone London, we have two buildings. If I'm not mistaken, we have like two buildings. And then we have one up in the Midlands or something. And yet we are not half as efficient. Everybody have their own website. Everybody have their own procedures. And then we have all these Ghanaians we transport all the way from Ghana. I'm not talking about the diplomatic staff. That's not the ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about even the counter staff. People bring their people all the way from Ghana to come and work there. And when you enter there, nobody knows who you are. As soon as you enter, everybody they speak to you, give you. Kafrao, I'm not saying nobody should speak to you, but that's not the point. You don't know who is showing up at your embassy. Oh dear. Ike wants to know why the change of name from Charles to Marek. Any special reason? Well, I don't know if it's special or not, but those are my experiences. I have written a whole long post about that, and yet it still keeps coming up. Please look, just Google from Charles to Gan. From Charles to Marek on my post, my timeline, it will come up. But I'll share a bit of it with you. Yes, I used to be called Charles. I had a number of experiences. I never used to believe in the power of names. I was forced to because of my circumstances. I never used to believe in the power of names. I used to be called Charles. A number of circumstances happened to me in my life. And it started from way when I was a child, but nobody took notice of it back then. I am told that the first day, and my mom was pregnant with me then, the first day that my father decided that he was going to name me Charles, they had an accident. And in that accident, it was a fatal accident. Somebody died. It just wasn't me. And after that, a number of occurrences had happened. Largely accident. I've been in quite a number of accidents. It's not even funny for one person. And so at a point, my pastor in the UK, Bishop James Osborne Nanjo, said to me, I think you do need to go and consult your father and ask him why. What's behind the name Charles. At this stage, I still laughed it off because I still didn't believe in the power of names largely. But anyway, I took a flight down to Ghana, asked my father, and he said, well, he named me after Charles de Gaulle. And it turns out Charles de Gaulle at the time was one of the actually still probably is the one president to have survived the most assassination attempts. And so at the point that I was having this engagement, I had already survived about between 9 and 11 near-death experiences. And this has happened throughout my life from I remember one vividly. I remember the vivid ones. I remember one vividly when I was a child. I went to visit my parents in Nigeria. I was sitting in front of our house as a building quarters for the engineers on a particular project, the Benue State market, and a motorcycle ran right into a ditch beside our house, right in front of me. Missed me by inches, and landed right in the ditch. I was a kid then. I didn't know what was happening. All I heard was my mom screaming that his son had been saved. I had 3 of those incidents when I was in school. I had a few of them when I started working. And so at the stage where I found out that, the name actually had some level of connection with the man who had had the most assassination attempts, at that stage I said, I was polite enough to say to my father that, listen, I don't know how many more of these assassination attempts I might be able to get past. And so I needed to change the name. And so I chose my own name, which was Marek, and I had it changed. Um, and so that was the main story to that. And ever since that has the change has happened, it's been almost what 7 years or so now, 6 or 7 years. I have never had any such experiences again, believe it or not. So there is the power in names. There is a power in names. Hi, Louise. Welcome again. Somebody says, I want to know if you have plans to make government efficient, especially the agencies. We have too many layers of management: MC, DC, assemblyman, public agencies, MPS and their deputies, etc. Now, oh God, okay. Uh, Now he says, I particularly want the Auditor General to have powers to prosecute and jail. Eben, you want to put me in trouble? That is something we're considering. That the powers of the Auditor General are expanded. We are very serious about dealing with corruption. Um, and so we are serious about some of these things that you are requesting. You're welcome, Ike. But do look down in my post. It's a long time ago I did that, but I did a whole write-up on that just to help everybody understand. Eben, yes, efficiency is something we are very keen on. You have been around me some time, so you know that I drive efficiency every step of the way. We always stop to ask the question: is there a better way we can get this thing done? And it's become the nature of how we have engaged. And so, yes, efficiency is something we want to drive. The first step in that efficiency process is that we are having the most minimal number of ministers. We're not having 120 ministers or 130 or 150 or whatever. We have even lost track. We're not having 70 ministers. We're having a maximum of 50 ministers. And we believe that a lot can still be done with 50 ministers. So we do want to drive efficiency at every level. We also do want to drive value for money at every level of government. Too much spending discretion is in the hands of ministers. We do need to take away the discretion so that we are guaranteed that every time money is spent at a certain level, at a certain amount base, that value is being delivered for the Ghanaian people whose money is being spent. And so we have things like ensuring, and we've already drawn out the mechanism, the structure for that, whereby for every large funding to be spent on whatever it needs to be spent on, we want to make sure you have a strategic justification for it. We want to make sure you have a financial justification or business case for that. We want to make sure, one of my favorite is you have a commercial justification for that. So for example, by commercial justification, we are saying that if you are spending money in the public sector, we must ask the question, if this was your business, if this was a profit-making business entity where we are always trying to cut down on costs and increase how much we get as inflows, if that was the kind of business you were running, would you be making this expenditure? And more often than not, we spend money in the public sector simply because we don't have to struggle for the money or hustle for the money, because it gets allocated and therefore we can just spend. That needs to stop. If things like that can be curtailed, it would also ensure that every money that is spent is looking for value to be delivered out of that spending. So, Eben, I don't want us to get into the technical elements of these things, but this is my field. We are very confident we have the team to push this agenda. Um, Whereas every institution, for example, wants to build a building and construct their own Tower of Babel, we want to sort of do even an exercise to make sure that departments have the space they need, not the space they want. Yeah, we're not here to spend Ghanaian people's money on building high, towers of Babel that is not going to be used. You walk around Accra, there's so many high-rise buildings empty, just lying there. Walk around the same Accra, you see a lot of entrepreneurs who don't have a place to start something they want to really start. Okay. They can't change a lot of things, so because Charlie, the yawa for the system plenty. Charles, you asked the question. Hey, have you experienced the many accidents? The trotters, of trotters in Accra. What will you be doing to those jigsaw cars that are built from 16 cars? How is road safety? Okay. Charles, one of the things we do want to introduce is emission taxes, for example. We're not going to tell you take your car off the road, but if you're going to be on the road and be polluting everybody's lungs and causing everybody to have respiratory diseases, then you should be paying for the treatment of those respiratory diseases. And so we will be levying fines for vehicles that emit more than the normal you need to emit. We are not saying don't drive your unserviced car on the road, but if you make the road and therefore it starts giving off more emissions than it normally should, Chief, Madam, you have to pay for those who are going to suffer from the bad emissions that it is given. So our government is not going to be all, ridiculously penal to the point that people feel suffocated, but we're going to make sure that whatever choices you make, you are reaping the results of those choices. If you make the choice to drive the most polluted vehicle on the road, it comes with a choice to pay more for driving that. We are not taking your choices away from you. We are just offering you what comes with those choices. But Charles, this is a tricky one, because the reason why some of these vehicles are on the road is we don't have a central transport system like trains. Like we have buses, they don't have their individualized routes. So they don't. So people talk about, but we have Ayalolo. Look, the reason why you introduce a central busing system is so that it becomes an incentive for people to get into town on these buses and leave their cars at home. If the person who is getting on Ayalolo also has a car at home, and he feels that he can get to the destination he's getting to much faster than he will get there if he's using his car, you have not given that person an incentive to use the buses. These buses need to have dedicated lane, and people tell me they have dedicated lanes. No, they do not have dedicated lanes. What they have is dedicated parking spaces along the roads in Accra. And so if we are looking to do this, we have to do it well. Let us create dedicated lanes for this Ayalolo or other transportation system, busing system, so that we give the real incentive for people to park their cars at home, get on an air-conditioned bus, and get to their destination as quickly as they can. Number two, these buses need to run on time. People need to know that when they start from Medina point A, they will get to Accra exactly by this time or close to that time. In fact, time in Yeshi. And yet we want to be a prosperous nation. Money is from time. If you can't value time, we can't spend 3 hours a day out of our 7-hour working or 8-hour working day and expect to be productive. People waste 2 hours in, 2 hours out in traffic. That's 4 hours out of an 8-hour working day. Another 1 hour is probably spent, going to buy food and coming and reading newspapers. So effectively, we have to ask ourselves, how many hours do we really spend being productive? So a lot of these things, we feel they are not petty, but they are things we need to look at critically. And instead of us to talk about this thing, the people who should be talking about these things are doing political comparisons. And we go around and vote for them again in December. No, no, time now soon. Time as soon, time as soon, time as soon. We can't continue down this road, guys. We cannot continue down this road. It's almost as though you're dear grower. With your dear grow. Some of the things that we should be hearing Parliament talk about. Where are others getting to? How are we getting there? What are you, the ministers, doing for us? Those are the conversations we should be having in Parliament and outside Parliament amongst our politicians. Yes, all we see is the political comparison. And Mahama see, yeah, Leslie, what Okada. So this one to come. Oh, we were the first to have said that. And see, so this one now we are joking, and then we are here. We are here. The country that God liberated first along the west. We are here, and others are passing by. No, sorry, I don't. They are expecting us to. They're expecting all of us to vote for them again. No, it must not be so. So I'm gonna end soon. I just want to say, people, we have one chance. We have one opportunity this December to make a fundamental turnaround in history for this country. We have this one chance. I kid you not, people. I kid you not. If this December goes by and we do not make that choice, it will cost us another 60 years. It's already cost us another 28 years. Nothing has massively changed. Nothing has largely moved forward. We've been here, we've been doing it 28 years. Nothing has massively happened. And I kid you not, if we allow this to happen again, if the NDC and the MPP win again in 2020 December, I assure you it will cost us another 60 years. I don't have another 60 years. You don't have another 60 years. So I beg you, those of you who can, let's get together and get this thing done. Like, we need volunteers. Come out in your numbers and let's hit the streets. Come out in your numbers. Let's hit the communities. Let's engage people. Let's get people to see things differently. Those of you who can help print t-shirts, yes, come around. The t-shirts are in our comments box here. Get the link, download the design, get it printed, share it amongst people. Wear it in town. Wear your colors too. This is the color of change. Let's wear it too. And those of you who can print posters, by all means, get on our platform. Everything is out there. Print the posters, share it amongst your community. Go door to door. Let's do this, people. Yeah. I pray one day posterity doesn't have to come and ask every single one of us that, did you see the possibility of things going down southwards? Were you there when it started happening? What did you do? What did you do? And let that be a question on our consciences. What did you do? Yes, we complain about things not going well. What did you do? We have a brilliant opportunity this 2020 December. I cannot say it any other way. If we don't make this change happen this 2020 December, I guarantee you it will cost us, and we will go backward another 60 years. We were going to have to start again from where we started 60 years. I kid you not. We have that window of opportunity open this 2020 December. It's a little window. If we don't make that change happen, for those of you who are saying you will not vote, that is not the answer. The answer is not to vote. Don't say the answer. Now. ECG has decided they have taken their lights back. This country, man. So I'm using my ring light for my mobile phone holder. Anyway, so I think this is a signal for me to end. I will end here, and I do hope that you have a lovely week. But follow through in the comment section. Please help. Please help. Though there are people who can help. I know that from the depths of my heart. People have been helping. People have gone out there, printed their own T-shirts, and printed for their families, printed for their communities. You don't have to print for an entire community. If you can also print for yourself and 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, do that. People can do these things. There are people who are capable of doing these things. There are people who can say, look, I'm going to print 10,000 posters for you. If you can't do this, whatever you can do to help the cause, do it. Okay, let's make history. Let's be the ones who stood up and were bold enough to make the change we want to see happen. It's not going to happen by us voting the same people we've done so for the last 28 years. Almost sorry, and then they tell you, say, if you vote for an independent candidate, not just say, oh, we still vote. Yambisa almost said, the last 28 years, I have voting more mono. Improvement ben na omudi votes Eddie. Whether is that's even the correct tree. Forgive me if it's not. Yambisa said the last 28 years we've been voting NDC and MPP. What is the profit you have gotten from your votes? So Muka said if you vote for an independent candidate, you are wasting your vote. So the last 28 years we voted for the NDC and MPP. What is the profit that has come out of your vote, our votes? It is their families that have gotten better. It is their girlfriends, their children, their immediate friends that have gotten better. We who are in the bigger, rather larger population, say, what has our votes that we gave to them, what has it profited us? We have to ask these questions. Yo, University, I'm going to end it here. And I want to say our funding pages are also in the commentary box. You can help. You can support us via Momo. You can support us via when you get the chance, you can support us via our Momo. You can support us via our GoFundMe. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. We're deeply grateful, my team and I. And by all means, join us and make something happen. Okay, we can do this, and we must do this. Yes, we have 1 month to go, but yes, nations have changed in days. We have a month to go. Let's make this happen. God bless our homeland, Ghana, and God bless you all. I pray you have a very fruitful week ahead of you. Go make something beautiful happen. All right. God bless you all. Thank you. Bye-bye. Asida yedimo nyamye, yedimo yeswe, yedimo rande. Today is Sunday. Asida yedimo nyamye, yedimo nyamye, yedimo nyamye.